Yes, people, and welcome back to Norski TV and the What's Going On podcast. Welcome back. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and share if you are new. A lot to talk about this weekend. The refereeing decisions, VAR, absolute joke. And even Klopp, I don't know if he means it, looking for a replay. Will that happen? Who knows? But yeah, VAR have a lot to answer for. One of my topics is sorry, just ain't cutting it. Something to that point. Sorry, just ain't enough, and it isn't enough. We've been talking about this situation for a long time on this show. I know Big D, it's something right at the start of the season came up in one of these games, and look, here we are. Controversy with regards to how these referees are dealing with VAR and the on-field decisions. And so we have got a lot to sort of talk about concerning Liverpool. Hopefully we'll have Ez on for a short period of time. Don't know if Kofi's coming on. Chile hopefully might come on. Don't know if JP will be on. But listen, whatever happens, we are going to be discussing football and the Premier League weekend with what's happening in terms of the fallouts. We might even delve into a little bit of our Champions League exploits last night. Both Man United and Arsenal falling at the hands of Galatasaray and Lens. Lens, who haven't been in the Champions League for 20 years, and Arsenal thought they could just rock up and play like that. Absolutely ridiculous. Man United, Højlund scoring a brace and scoring 2 good goals, only to be pegged back and to lose it. What's happening with Onana? What is going on with Onana? Absolute nightmare start, mate. There's so much to talk about. Question, has Erik ten Hag bitten off more than he can chew? These are questions that we need to ask, and we are going to be talking about this fully in tonight's What's Going On podcast. So please hit that like button, subscribe, and share if you know. Without further ado, let me bring on Mr. Big D. How you doing, bro?
Yes, sir. I'm all right,
You good?
Yeah.
So first of all, before we talk football, let's find about your well-being. How you doing?
I'm all right, mate. I'm grateful for a wife that looks at the time and goes, "This brother is still sleeping." Hey, it was me like just go 6:15. He's like, "Yo, come on, man." I'm like, "Oh my, hold on." Do you know what I mean?
I thought, because I didn't see the thumbs up, so I thought, yeah, he must be sleeping.
I'm cold, man. Yeah, because I did a quick flip in it to go back tonight, so I done the triangle within shift patterns, and I had to just sleep. You hit a brick wall, you're like, I need to get my head down. Getting my head down for an hour turned out to be about 3 hours, mate. You know what?
Yeah. So everything kind of sorted back at work, or is still
train crash, mate.
Still train crash.
It's well normal. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Okay, we'll talk after the show.
Yeah, this will go 3 weeks. Yeah,
we'll talk after the show. Anyway, let's bring on the much happy Mr. Kofi Klopp, who wants a replay.
Liverpool.
Oh man, where is
you? Never walk alone.
Yeah, sing it loud. Sing it loud. I always knew you were red.
Listen, Kof, we have sympathy for you. We have massive sympathy for you, mate, because, bro, what went on at the weekend is absolutely crazy. But before we go in and delve into the whole weekend exploits of football, how are you doing?
I'm very well. Where's the Cotton Fields boy?
I don't know where he is, I don't know if he's still out there. I don't know if
he's still out there. He won't be able to resist this one. He'll find a way.
He'll find a way. He'll find a way to come in. I mean, he was giving it large on the chat, on our chat last night. And obviously, basically, you were saying, what are you lot moaning about? Why Liverpool moaning? Yeah. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But man, them mans were celebrating like they won the Champions League. Anyway, let me bring Mr. Happy Ez, getting their first win for a long, long time. So let me bring in Ez. What are you saying, Ez? He's got his mic muted, so he'll probably unmute his mic in a minute. But he's inside the house. But people, let's talk about the football at the weekend. And as I said, we're gonna delve into the Premier Review and player ratings. Obviously, Ref Watch. lots to talk about. And I think this is one that's going to really dominate the show. Another one is our Spurs title contenders, or according to Gary Neville, just spirited. And as Eric Ten are bitten off more than he can chew. And also we will go into the what's going on prediction results game week 7 and then what's going on fantasy league shout out. And there's been a changing of the guard when you'll see that table later on. So it's going to be interesting to see that. Okay, so I'll say no more on that. But listen, I think we really need to touch on. Sorry about this. The light's gone because my missus just decided that she's gonna knock my light switch off. See these Liverpool people, you know.
Sabotage, I say sabotage, Norm.
Sabotage. Yeah.
Don't blame us.
They have a good game and then they take it out of my lightings. Stuff. What's going on here, man?
My guy. He's
yes.
Oh, no, it's not even working now.
You're mute. You're muted.
Yes, everyone. Greetings, everyone. Greetings.
Yeah,
all right. Hopefully, we're back to normality. But yes, Mr. Ez, man.
Yes. I'm good. How's everyone doing?
I know you are short of time, so we want to just get into
yes, sir.
The game of the weekend, and that is the Chili's not here, so I don't know. You know, she's done it again. Stop touching the thing because you're knocking off my light. Thank you very much. Oh my gosh. I said, listen. If it's that bad that you guys lost at the weekend, when you taking it out of my light for? It's bad. It is. Why you can't get the staff in here? Though.
It's bad.
There, sabotage. What out?
I'm feeling the grief.
Feeling the grief. Listen, let's delve into it. Let's just tackle the elephant in the room. And I know Ed's in the chat on our chat brought up about an incident that happened with Man United.
Yes.
Yeah. Chelsea finally get a win from me. Welcome to the chat, mate. Yeah.
Bit lucky. I'm not wearing the shirt today, but yeah.
It is what it is. You're a happy man. And you guys played well, but we really want to just get into
definitely.
Thing. So, listen, Kofi, game where Liverpool and Tottenham go into this game both unbeaten, massive game, and it's Tottenham don't tend to do well against Liverpool. They're pretty much like their bogey team, but Tottenham coming off the back of a draw against Arsenal. 2-2, celebrating that as well. And then they have this big, massive game against Liverpool. And first of all, Kofi, your thoughts on the game. And then we'll talk about the controversy with regards to, Jota getting a second yellow card to take you down to 9 men. The goal that should have stood. And Klopp coming out now and saying that he wants a replay. Kofi,
man.
Have we lost Kofi?
Might be having a technical issue there. No, he's back.
I'm here.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
Let's start.
Let's start with what happened on Sunday, Super Sunday. What was your thoughts, first of all, going into the game? How did you feel about it? I know you predicted that Liverpool would win this game 2-1. The reverse was that Chile said that Tottenham would win this game 2-1. But who would have thought it would have come out 9 men, holding out to the last 15, maybe 30 seconds of the game, only for Matip to put it in the back of the net. And what a finish by Matip. Anyway, the floor is yours, bro. The floor is yours.
I went in pretty confident going into the game. A good start to the season. And obviously Tottenham have had a good start to the season as well. And, we got a good record at the Lane.
Yeah.
And, but obviously with the old guard of our front three who usually get us over the line in games, it changed. And, I kind of thought, okay, let's see what these new lineup can do against resurgent Tottenham team. So, yeah, I was confident, but obviously the game had different issues, perspective, and the result where I was listening on radio, and I was just seeing on the ticker sending offs all over the place. I was like, nah, what's going on today? This is our second sending off of the season.
You've got an awful lot of red cards this season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Left and right.
Your disciplinary is not that brilliant this season,
and it's not like Liverpool at all.
Yeah.
So
let's just talk about the first red card. His opinion. What was your opinion on the Jones red card? I mean, look, some people said it was harsh. When the referee went over to look at it on the actual screen, they literally froze it at the point of his impact, and that's what the referee's made up in his mind. He's seen that. But as far as he's concerned, it's listen. I think it's a sending off, but what Klopp was saying is basically, if the referee's seeing that in real time, and as far as he's concerned, he just thought it was the two coming together. He's giving him a yellow card. You know what I mean? But VAR decided, right, you need to go and look at that.
I know they like to freeze incidents to highlight that specific point, but at the end of the day, it's in the rules. It's deemed as a dangerous tackle, regardless.
It was slightly high up the ankle.
Yeah, if you look where he caught him as well, Kofi.
The
way he caught him, it was like,
I mean, you can say Jones was a little bit unlucky because obviously he slid, and
it wasn't intentional. It wasn't intentional.
It wasn't like
I think the same thing happened. I think the same thing happened with who was it? I think it was your player D. Where was it Casemiro when he went over the top of the ball when he caught him? I can't remember.
Remember he goes over, and it's like his momentum. There was no malice in it. He just the momentum, and then he's gone for momentum. Really, you know what I mean? Rather than because it's not like he completely misses the ball, but. Yeah, and
you can see clearly he gets the ball, but obviously if that would have been a leg break, then it would have been a different story altogether. So in a way, look, I'm always going to say and defend my players. He probably should have stuck with the yellow cards and done with the situation. But if it was a different situation and it was a little bit more dangerous, then the ref had to make that call.
What are your thoughts?
No, I think if the VAR is there to assist the referee, they have to give him full context. If he's going to spend the time to go to the screen, don't show him a frozen picture, because you can explain the frozen picture to him through the mic. You're meant to show him how we've got there, and if we can just say that it was an unfair reality that it's ended up in that scenario, or you can even see if there was a bit of intent and how we've got to this dangerous tackle. Because we could start saying going up for 50-50 headers and headbutting a man is dangerous because he can get concussed by doing that. You know what I mean? So do we stop going for headers? Because if you look at that Raul Jimenez, he was concussed, man, out of football for almost a year because of a header, which is so we have to kind of look at
that happened against us. I think that happened against us.
Yes. So we have to look at what we're deeming as dangerous and how we get there. Because the referee needs to make a call on if that was just if he had every right to go for that ball and he got unlucky compared to you went in with Vim and you took no, and if it's a case of negligence. Negligence is completely different to dangerous. Completely different to unlucky. Negligence is,
but the ref saw it and he initially gave the yellow card. So that's fair. In his mind, he knew that he made the right call. So why can't referees have the overall judgment and say, "No, I felt I made that right call"?
No, I think he can, but they also they don't help him out by not playing him that 3-4 seconds, that 3 to 4 seconds that show before the frozen image. Because then he looks ignorant if he goes to look at the frozen image and says, "Nah, there's nothing wrong with that." Because of course, at the frozen image stage, you can see the contact at the man's ankle. But if you kind of show how you got there, it will be you can talk through it. You know, but you can't talk through it if you could just see that the man studies on the ankle. That's a red card. Of course, you're going to say that. You know, so the context is key for me.
And you have to remember as well the reaction of the player taking the hit. Because then
they're always going to milk it.
Yeah, his teammates react to his reaction, which almost makes the ref stop the game. Even if the ref thought that was 50-50, the role, the teammates around him, that hands in the air.
But at the point of when the referee, we've been rolling about and the teammates doing what they did. Then the decision then was still made by VAR to say to the referee, go and have a look. Go and have a look. As far as the referee was concerned, it's a yellow card. He saw it in real time. And I think a lot of people are saying is that, you know, even ex-footballers are saying that when the referee goes to view that, he's viewing it in real time. Why is it that everything, because in slow motion, everything looks bad, worse than what it is. Do you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
And so I think Jamie Carragher was saying on Monday Night Football, like when the impact is made, you can see Basuma's ankle, you know what I mean? And the leg is planted. Yeah. So at that point, you're like, whoa. Do you know what I mean?
I'm trying to remember. Was he already on a yellow card or was that a straight red?
No, that was his first. That's his first.
Right. So
he took it out, yellow card, that's it. And the VAR
him
decided
so him going to VAR turned it into the straight red. Rather than that being his second yellow.
Yeah,
cool.
Because
I can remember.
He's advised the referee to go and look at the screen. Yeah. As he's walked over to the screen, we could even see it ourselves. All you see is a picture and the frozen image of the foot. And the boot going on the suit. Right. And you look at it, and the first reaction to me is, ooh. Do you know what I mean? So straight away, the referee's mind is like, okay, this looks bad.
But that's norms. That's where you have to say that the referee in question was an inexperienced referee, because if that was an experienced guy who's actually managed those big games, maybe he would have had a different perspective on that.
I don't think so, Kofi. And not to cut you, Kofi, but by sending him over to the screen and showing that image, they've tied his hands and said, you're going to give a red card. You know, but that's because he can't walk away from that screen and justify his decision. Compared to if they play the clip, that will help him go back to his experience. What you're saying, Cole, that will help him go back to his experience and say, look, by this clip, I can see that momentum, and he just got a little bit unlucky by a bobble or whatever you might be able to. But by sending him that frozen pain image, you basically put the sentence on the player. That's it. You're walking.
Because if you think about the audio that we heard from not giving the goal, the offside goal.
Oh Lord!
In that same game, it'd be interesting to hear the audio from this decision where when he goes to the screen, are they already telling him he has to go for this? Take a look. He has to go for this. You know what I'm saying? So straight away, you're putting the pressure on the referee to say, okay, it's high. It doesn't look malicious, but these guys are telling me, look where he's caught him. He's got to go. So you know what I mean. So and that's why I said,
at the end of the day, you're the main official of that game, and you should have like overall decision to say, okay, I've assessed the situation, looking at VAR, looking at my own indication of what happened in the game, and I will take in consideration this is dangerous. Looking at the replays, but at the end of the day, I've made an overall decision, and this is. Can
I just come in here? You know, with this overturning of the yellow card to then say, right, we think it's dangerous play. Now, there's this thing of like, if a referee issues a yellow card, so you know, just sort of switching back to when Jota got the second yellow, Now, on Doogie, I think his name is it on Doogie or on Googie? I can't remember the guy. When the first challenge that was made on Googie, Jota didn't touch him. Personally speaking, I didn't see he touched him. He tripped over his own foot. The yellow card at that point is being issued to Jota. Now, people would say, and even my son, we was watching it. Why can't they go back and look at that and say, actually, you got to. I know what you're saying, but what I'm trying to say is, the referees issued a yellow card. for the tackle. The guy's rolling about, and the teammates have made up a load of noise. And the VAR official said, "We think that's a dangerous tackle." What is stopping them from saying, actually, what was I can't remember the referee's name who was refereeing the game. Actually, he tripped himself. Go and have a look. Do you know? I know it would be a lot of stop-starts.
I know what you're saying. I think it's not even that.
Yeah.
It's not even that, but someone can correct me, but my understanding is that they can only overturn red card offences. All right.
Right. Okay.
So not yellow cards. They don't get involved in yellow cards. They'll get involved in a yellow card if they think it should be a red card, but they won't overturn
fair enough. Yeah.
A yellow card. So even the second yellow that equals a red, they won't interfere unless it's a straight red.
Yeah.
And it needs to be overturned. Do you understand? So that's where that because of course VAR would have been able to look at the first one and say you got that one wrong. He's tripped himself. But if it's a yellow card, no, they're letting that run. It's the referee's call. That's that.
Yeah. I think
so. That's the loophole there.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is for me, as a result of it, obviously, he gets sent off. You're down to 10 men. Then the Jota situation happened, whatever. But let's flip back now. Now, this is the interesting bit that we want to really get to. And this is the situation with the goal that should have stood when Salah lays on the ball to Diaz. And clearly we can see that he's offside. So I obviously there's a couple of images of people that didn't see it. I'm sure everybody has seen the images. But just so we could just refresh our minds, let's go with the first image here, right? So listen, with the naked eye, you can see. I mean, when I saw it, I thought, he's on. I didn't think twice. Go, oh, was he on? When the ball was played, I didn't sort of think, is he off? Is he on? You could see right clear now.
Yeah. Well, Norm, if you look at how the grass is cut, you see the line in the grass. So the line in the grass helps you even more to know that he's good here. He's like he's sprung the trap. And that's before they start putting all their lines and angles in. Just on that picture, you're looking at where the two players are, the defender and him going. He spun the guy off. He spun the guy off the shoulder. And even if where Salah is, Salah has no business even making that brilliant pass with them two guys on him like that. So the whole thing is genius. Yeah. But then it's a bottle job, isn't it?
Okay, so let's now put the lines in.
Goodness gracious me.
Look at that.
Goodness. Look at that. You can fit a button there. Goodness.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Goodness.
So listen. So all of this is going on. We've heard the audio. The confusion was that the audio is absolutely shocking. And that's why Klopp, is saying, come on, for the integrity of the game. Even Jamie Carragher on Monday night was saying, like, or like some people were saying, I think it was on Ref Watch, one of the guys, the ex-Liverpool player who does the Ref Watch, and he was basically saying, like, if he'd got both, the referee would have gone over to both managers and say, look, because they knew the mistake had been made, but it was too late. You could see it on his face. It was too late because they said, we've made the decision. Yeah, because he said, yes, we've agreed that he's onside, and the referee on the pitch is thinking, oh, they've said, we've gone with that.
But no,
but messed up and they couldn't stop the game.
To be fair to one of the guys in the VAR, he actually says, like, guys,
are you happy with this?
Are you happy with this?
Yeah,
because what I'm saying, he ain't offside. And then the guy said, it's too late. The game.
I don't know if you heard one of the guys that was talking. Man, does he sound like a roadman? I was thinking, geez, this guy's like something off the road, bro.
That's what I'm about to say.
No, seriously. No. You know what, though? The integrity of the referee go after this if the right repercussion isn't made. Now, I'm not calling for anyone to lose their job. I mean, I'm not one of them people here. I'm just saying the right thing needs to be done to restore the faith in the integrity of it. I don't know what the options are, but I think there was ample amount of time to still stop the game and correct it. I personally think so. When I was watching back, I think their priority was, the next phase of play has gone. But who cares? If the goal's meant to stand, forget the next phase. Go and take kickoff. Sorry, we've looked at it again. That's a goal. That's it.
Some VAR,
You can argue with us later.
Some VAR decisions have been left for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, no. If you need to argue with us later on, argue with us later on. But that was a goal, so kick off, mate.
Yeah.
Like that's that.
Well, Ez, you brought up about the game, and I think it was your game. And at the end of the day, listen, Man United go and win that game. I think it was the Brighton game.
Yeah, it was. It was.
And the referee blew up, and they allowed Bruno Fernandes to then go and take the penalty.
This is it. This is it, Norms.
That's right. That was last season, wasn't it?
Absolute double standards.
It was last Sunday, and he went. It's almost like they went
I'm not
back.
talking about last Sunday. I'm talking about
last season.
Last season.
Yeah, last season. Yeah.
Nothing against United, because of course, even I take the points if the referee's going to give us a 3 points to win the game. You know what I mean? But in my opinion, when the referee blows his whistle in terms of a decision made, like a goal or whatever it might be, something like winning, like half time, those are conclusive things. It's not even up for debate. The time has gone. The game is done. If there's been a mistake in time, then that's once where we need to put our hands up, that we should have made that call in time. What was happening was that out of time, a decision was made. You know what I mean? And that is now it's a consequence of a matter back in time. So now you've got to start the clock again, which is unprecedented. That's never happened in football. You know what I mean? So what I'm trying to say is, what is more significant? A phase of play going by in the Liverpool-Tottenham game and you feeling like you can't stop the game because the next phase of play is gone, or a whole whistle being blown to say the game is done, thank you, shake hands. And then you start the game back to say, sorry, there should have been a pen. Put back on your boots and a gloves, keeper. You've got to get ready to take a penalty. Yeah. I don't know what's more significant.
If you look at that whole decision there, right, it's almost like if they had said to the ref to go back, stop the game and go back, right?
Yeah.
The emotion of all that, right? You know, maybe they're thinking, there's going to be a riot here. We have to let it go, rather than just saying, okay, make the decision and because I always think that those decisions put a lot of pressure on the police and the stewards, especially if the decision goes in a way that it shouldn't. And so you I see what Norman's putting up here, but this is where I feel like there's a level of we've got it wrong, but in their minds they thought it was too late to say get him to blow up. That has to stand. There's still a lot of times in the game.
Listen, these guys have got previous, yeah. All right, so just quickly, look, PG VAR apologies. Let's start. Tottenham, obviously, we know about this one.
Yeah, that's a big one, man. Biggest of them all.
Man United, one Wolves. Another record challenge. I know you had issues about this. I still think it was a red card. And they came out and apologized and said that he should have a penalty should have been given. Tottenham 2, Brighton 1. The Holberg when he fouled Matoma. Remember that game? They came out and apologized. Everton Man City game when Kavanaugh missed the handball from Rodri. Remember that?
Oh, I forgot about Ivan Toney. I forgot about this one.
This one.
Oh,
this
wow.
One.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous. Then you've got the Crystal Palace Brighton one. The Bra book strict offside in the wrong place. Denying Brighton's opening goal. Ridiculous. Liverpool for Bennett escaped with only a yellow card after studs up challenge against. I remember that one. Aston Villa 3, Man United 1. 2022, Lucas Digne scored a free kick, but a post-match review concluded that United ball was set too far back.
These are big points.
Look at this. Let's just go
big
through
points.
This is not good enough. This is not good enough.
I said to you,
2023, not good enough.
But this is what I said to you from when we discussed the Onana situation at length, that we're going to go through this whole season having these conversations, and here we are, still having these conversations.
No, but D, you see, after the World Cup, I personally think the World Cup ran pretty smoothly when it came to VR decisions, offsides. They were all pretty quick. And they had that new technology, that 3D technology, where you could see, everyone at home can see the body image, you know, how far offside, them sort of thing. And okay, cool. Forget the previous. Now, this season, the Premier League were offered that technology, and they said no, that we don't want it. We don't want it in England.
Exactly.
You joking me? You're joking me?
Because this is what will happen. The transparency brings. Not everybody wants that, bro.
Yeah,
and the same thing with being mic'd up. If you have the 3D technology and they're mic'd up, you hear the conversation like in American sports. There's no lying. There's no corruption going on there. It's too late, forget it. Because you know that conversation happens bare times. It's too late, forget it. Rather than stop the game, review it properly,
sort this through,
and bring it back and give the goal, the free kick.
And I know that people want quick decisions and all of that, but I think the fans, just like in American sports, will get used to the time it takes to make the right decision. All right, and they will actually trust the integrity of the decision. And you know what? I'd rather wait so that it's the right decision than like Liverpool, Tottenham, they rush and there's a big mistake that we're talking about days and days after. And, you know, it might take a season or two, maybe in 3 seasons to get used to it. But eventually, the fans will calm down and put less pressure on the refs just to say, wait a minute, let them get this right. You know,
because if you think about it, it's not going to be like the American sports where the teams call a timeout and they go to commercial break. Like, you know what I'm saying? No one asking for that.
Serious. Seriously.
You know what I'm saying? That's why in American sports is like, timeout, and they go to commercial. When you say, they go to commercial, this decision may not go our way. This is a review where you say, hold on a second. Look at the 3D. You hear the conversation between VAR and the ref, so the fans are not getting their feelings or losing their minds because the emotion of the time. You have to forget that the emotion. But if they hear it and they say, you know what, I may not still agree with it, but I see where they're coming from.
Exactly. And you know, as I said, people get used to it. The emotions and the pressure of it will become lesser as the seasons go by because we're used to it. You know, rather at the moment, of course, it's teething. You know, it's teething. You're not going to like it at first. You're going to boo and you're going to do all of that. Referee just need to just firm that anyway. But before I go, Norms, you've got that up in the background. I can see. Tee that one up because I've got a question for everyone. On this next bit. So, Kofi, if you're there, do you feel like there will be a replay? And Norms and D as well. Do you feel like there will be a replay?
Well, I can't personally speaking, I can't see it happening because it's just going to set an unprecedented precedence in that everything that happens that's really has a big call. Everybody's going to be asking for a replay, and that I can't see it happening. I think what they should have done. I think what they should have done on the on-field thing was that whole thing of just using a. Listen, okay. I think it was the referee that does it. Dermot was saying Gallagher was saying that. Listen, they're not allowed to go and overturn certain things, or when I say overturn, like you go take the game into they're going by the rules, okay? But the rules are there to be, in quote, broken. So you can say, actually, let's use a bit of common sense. We can see it's the clear and obvious that we've made on both sides. Let's go to the thing and say, listen, guys, we got it wrong. Or even there and then, you know, I think there needs to be more transparency. There needs to be more transparency. But I can't see this happening where Klopp, he's put it out there. But I cannot see this happening.
He's clutching at straws going on because then every really off-key situation like that, they're going to have to go back and say, well, you know what, guys? We're going to have to replay this one as well.
To be fair, he said that. He did say that, look, that's what you would want. But in that case, everyone's going to start asking for replays. And it opens up that door for this replay thing coming to the future of football.
Did you just see what Jay put there?
No replay.
This one here.
But that's also unprecedented. Yeah. You know, because when you start going back into some certain fixtures that should have, like for example, Arsenal might go and ask for their 3 points back or 2 points back after that Ivan Toney one last season. And then what does that do to their title run? You're pushing up against it. You know what I mean? And I guess I think they have to draw a line under this one. I think my angle's a little bit different. Mine's a bit different. I think there's more political issues behind this. For example, if they do the replay, let's say that everyone's happy and they literally say this is a one-off, no one can ask for this again in the future, da 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 da.
Yeah.
But okay, money-wise, how does this work? Because I told you, man, the other day, these man got bonuses for appearances. Yeah. So you need to work out how you're going to pay Jota another 50 grand for his appearance and where's this going to be played? Okay, what if Salah takes a big injury in that game now? And then you know what I mean? All these things, is it worth it? Is what I'm saying, because you've got to work out those things. Who benefits from the match ticket? You know what I mean? All them things that perhaps is a lot easier to think about, isn't actually easy to execute.
Plus you have to take into account quickly as well, no? You got to take into account that Liverpool are the media darlings, right? And they have been for a very long time. And if that's any of our other teams, this ain't even a conversation.
Yeah, trust. It's done.
They're not going to entertain it. Yeah, so when I first saw it, I said, you know what? This has only been entertained because of Liverpool. You know what I mean? and that's unfortunate. And that's not being bitter against Liverpool fans. That's just a fact that whenever Klopp goes and makes these moans, if it's about the winter break, if it's like, then they look into it. It's a conversation, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I guarantee if Ten Hag clubs to moan about winter breaks, they can tell the man to sit down. You know what I mean? Because they're fully ain't earned his stripes. So it is what it is, and this is levels, isn't it?
Just before you duck off, question. Obviously, this is from Craig to the panel. If you could eliminate one thing from football, what would that be?
VAR.
Yeah, it has to be VAR. Yeah, because they're not using it right, and like Ed said, they're not using the new 3D technology. So just get rid. If you don't want to upgrade it, get rid.
The only thing, I mean, VAR, goal line technology is good.
Just use the VAR like what Ed said that they used in the World Cup, and to have more transparency. Mic yourself up so we can hear the conversation. It's really easy, but they don't want to do it because then they've got to be so transparent. They've got to be careful of the words they use when communicating a very big decision.
Yeah, I've got.
If we can't hear them, it don't matter, does it? If we can't be fans,
I've got a controversial one.
Go on.
Go on.
Havertz.
I
don't know. We'll chat later.
Yeah,
no, and hold on. Let me say my one. I think the one thing I'll get rid of is injury time, extra time. I'll get rid of it because it's so subjective. I think they should just stop the clock when play is stopped, and you play on as of when you play on. Done. 90 minutes is 90 minutes.
And again, this is what the American sports do. The clock
basketball. The clock is the clock. That is it.
Yeah, the clock gets stopped, Norm, until the decision is made, and then once they start playing again, bam, the clock goes again.
That's it. It makes sense. It makes sense to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway,
because then
just before Ez goes, can we give him a hand for his team winning?
Yeah, bro.
In the kids we trust. Poch is working some. Hey, listen, I'm sure he's a praying man. You know, I'm pretty sure he's a man of God. Listen, he's working well with them kids. Anyway, blessings everyone. Blessings, Jay. See everyone.
Yeah. So, So, boy, listen. I don't think personally, speaking, the replay will happen. You know what I mean? I think he's just putting it out there, just highlighting the fact that these referees need to, take ownership, take responsibilities, because it cannot. This is unprecedented in football, and this cannot happen again. It cannot happen again. Do you know what I mean? And I mean, even in some of the other games over the weekend, there were certain things that were missed. Do you know what I mean? I think the Forest game when Forest played on Monday night, when Nottingham Forest played, I think it was who was their team they play and they beat it was a draw. Nottingham Forest. Who was it? Can't remember the team they played. Who was it? Forest and
that was Sunday, wasn't it? That's Sunday, no?
Sunday. Sorry, Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday.
Sunday. Brentford.
Yeah.
Where a penalty should have been given in that game, where our old keeper took out one of the Forest players. Brentford players, and I looked at that. I thought it's clear. It was a clear. He took him out in the box, and nothing. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. It swings and roundabouts when it comes to these guys.
Because someone in VAR said that wasn't a clear and obvious area.
Probably. The thing is, I just think you only have, as I said, you've only got to listen to that audio, and it chucks up
so everything you need to know. Because they're probably on there playing Fortnite and all kind of foolishness while the game's going on. Then suddenly, because I think there's a few skits where people have mimicked what they think's gone on, and he's on his PlayStation, and then whoa, what? Like he's surprised to hear something in his ear, and he ain't seen nothing.
And as I said, listen, if they didn't release the audio, because people would then say you've got something to hide. Exactly. You know what I mean? So they had to do that for the integrity of the game. And then obviously when you hear it back now, it's embarrassing.
And the thing is,
it's absolutely embarrassing.
You're going to find now, moving forward, that bare managers are going to say, I need to hear the audio for that one. I ain't hearing it.
Yeah.
And so
the thing is,
it changes the dynamics of the game, doesn't it?
In their studio, do they comprise the group of people watching, like the VAR decisions, referees, or is it just independent? It has to be referees or people who have been refereeing.
No, the guys that are doing it. Yeah, I think they're referees, aren't they? The ones that are doing the VAR.
I think it's referees and referees stroke linesmen.
They're all part of the piece.
Referee stroke linesmen.
So
they would have done refereeing and whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, to my understanding, it's
people have been calling for, like, say, ex-footballers because they understand the game more. Because these guys have probably never played the game, but do you know what I mean? They've done their refereeing badges and everything else and blah blah blah. But in the context of how the game is played, there's going to be certain things that happen, and a player will look at that objectively or subjectively, depending, and say, "Well, actually, no, this is what they meant, right?" Do you know what I mean?
It still could be dangerous, Joe. No, I'm actually okay that it's match officials that have officiated the game or done their coaching badges that are operating that. But then I just say, make it transparent. Use the new technology and mic them up. That way, the conversation we heard for the Liverpool situation, we hear that in every major one. Because if Liverpool miss out on points for top 5, then that's another talking point at the end of the season. We go straight back to this one and say, well, actually, they won that game. Or they got a point from that game that wasn't given. Or, you know what I mean? It opens up a huge can of worms now. And I imagine that certain high-profile games, certain guys ain't going to want to be in that VAR. Yeah, you know what? I'm not doing Man United Liverpool. I'm not doing Man United Arsenal. You're going to find that as well, that it'd be like, how do you pick the VAR team for these games? Because I think there's some unconscious bias going on within VAR. Hence why they don't really want it mic'd up. You know what I mean? And the guy in the audio, the guy that has the conscience, I bet they kicked the crap out of him after that game. Because, like, man, what you said, you blew us all up by saying what you said, because he did. By him saying, are you sure about this, guys?
Yeah.
By him saying that, the whole team was like,
it does not sound good at all.
It sounded awful. It's like, at least there was someone in there with a conscience to know, no, guys, we've messed this up. But then he wouldn't know that this audio would have been made to light.
And to be honest, that's probably why Klopp has come out and said, look, listening to the audio, weighing everything
right. You got to spin the media wheel on it.
You have to.
Can't blame him.
If there's enough traction, but I still doubt that it will get replayed. I doubt it very much. You know what I mean? But as I said, going forward, I suppose with all of this said, you know, I've heard it before. We need to learn lessons from this, hard lessons from this. They said it for the Brentford one. You saw the 20 odd apologies that I've just scrolled through.
Yeah, exactly.
What lessons have they learned?
No.
What lessons have they learned? Yeah, and as a result of it, as I say, you know, Liverpool unfortunately come out losers against.
And that's why it forces.
Well, they can't exactly hide this one under the rug anymore because it's now at a point where they say for every game going forwards, we need to have a structured audio so everybody can hear, what's going on, in the stadium, in the game. So
I think Craig brought that up in the chat earlier on to say like they should, you should be able to hear this audible. Do you know what I mean?
I've been saying it for a while on the show that it's time the refs got mic'd up because there's just too many big decisions going wrong now, and so that's why I say I feel there's a level of corruption there, and they won't want to get mic'd up, and it just works in the American sports. Like no one's in their feelings, and sometimes as well they put the thing on the big screen as well, so that the whole stadium can see why that is a technical foul. Or like sometimes you could just whop a player out.
Yeah, because everybody kind of goes, get it. Yeah, because if you're there and everybody's scratching their head and thinking, what happened there? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? That's why we're having these conversations now, because we don't know what went wrong. Now that we've had, made the audio's been made available now to the general public. Now we can see that they really messed up.
And even for those that haven't got giant screens because we ain't got one, but even those that got giant screens, even to show the freeze frames up to the connection of the tackle while you're hearing the commentary of why this tackle, he needs to go for this tackle. But then so the whole stadium is not saying, well, okay, we heard the audio, but show us, just show them, because if you think that showing them's going to ruin the game, then there's no point in watching the game. Because it's a game of action. So when something happens in a game of action, show us.
So once the referee has gone over to the screen and he's looking at the screen at that particular foul, I'm assuming, are the VAR people still talking to him?
Yes, they are. I think they are, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think they influence it when he's at the screen, because he's saying... Because if he's at the screen and he's just not talking to anyone, I actually feel... Like you're there, Norm. You say, Norms, look, he's come high, studs high. Look where he's caught him on his ankle. What do you think? And he's watching it. He's free framing it. He probably even zooms it, makes it a bit bigger, and say, he's caught him high there. But then I say, but me here, or you said to me, D, listen, man, in full speed, it didn't look nasty. It just looked a little late.
Yeah.
And then now I say, well, Norm, you know what? Once we freeze frame it and you see that, you got to give him a red, mate. And I think VAR influenced the red rather than the caution.
So do you think sometimes VAR interferes a little bit? Does unnecessarily?
Yeah, maybe it does. Yeah, maybe it does.
That's why referees should have the overall decision.
As you said, Kofi. Overall.
Yeah, I definitely feel like VAR manipulated that in a sense of it's high.
I mean, VAR itself, the tool and the technology itself is not bad. It's
it's not bad.
Operating it. It's the people operating it, because we see it in other games.
And that's why I say get rid of it, because if you think about it, how many years we've gone, even if we didn't agree with it, we've always just gone with the linesman and the referee decision on the pitch. And we're like, you know what, that was a harsh sending off. Well, that was never a penalty, but he gave it. And everyone moves on. But the moment it starts going to the screen and watching it, and then keeping everybody in the dark, that's a problem, isn't it? It creates more pressure for the refs and the linesmen. And VAR, who we're not even seeing. You imagine they put a picture of VAR in the studio up, and next to it, the referee's face, and next to it, the stills of the incident that they're trying to debate or come to the same conclusion on. So it puts a lot of pressure on them, but then they paid a lot of money still. So who cares about the pressure? In a big stadium where the fans are emotional, it's a must-win game for both teams. Everybody's... Because, the money in football as well, let's not forget the money, Norm. Money
definitely.
Of not winning something or qualifying for something is huge now. And that's why you'll see resistance to let us hear and see what they see.
I mean, listen, Kof, you might be sad, but there's a guy called Chili who couldn't give two hoots how you feel right now. You know what I mean? They're free collectors. Celebrating like they won the Champions League. I mean,
You know what I mean? Funny. Like.
I don't have no beef with Chile. You know, he said what he's a supporter. He said what he had to say.
Yeah.
And we move on.
Yeah. I've always been told that ref has the final say. Why is it that now they've been taken away from it, or have I got that wrong?
You're right.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely right. But
it was that.
Say, football has changed.
Yeah.
The powers that be, people have been calling for it because, I suppose it's that thing of when we didn't have VAR and decisions were made. There was a big, massive talking point over that weekend. They were saying that whole clubs that could end up going down, financially going out of business and all of that. So the technology, they thought, listen, let's bring this in so that we can, make sure that the decisions that are made. But it seems like it's even worse. You know what I mean?
But if you look at the decision that we allegedly got away with Onana, right? We haven't been given a VAR decision in our favour since that game. Every VAR, every big VAR where we scored, was the ball over? Was it not? Was his toe offside? Was he head offside? We haven't been given anything since the Onana mess up in their eyes or the fans' eyes.
And talking about Onana, let's move on to your club, Big D. First of all, congratulations for getting through to the next round. Congratulations for getting a 12-hole tie in the Carabao Cup.
But it's almost like we're two versions of ourselves when it comes to football now. And I don't know who we are now. As a Man United fan, I can't tell you who my team is, man.
Let's talk about it. But before we say, obviously. The question I'm asking and to the chat is Eric Ten Hag bitten off more than he can chew. Now, Eric Ten Hag came in last season, got you third, won a Carabao Cup. You thought, let's push on now, get the right players in. And we know the whole thing when it comes to Man United, buying players and the whole saga it takes for you to get people over the line. The other thing as well is, yes, now that you've got Onana in, it's probably one of the worst debut of a keeper I've seen in a very, very long time. He's made mistake after mistake. In the Bayern Munich game where you lost, I think it was 4-3, mistake for the first goal. He came out to the press. He said what he's thinking. Right, he held his hands up, that. Then he does that thing yesterday where he puts Casemiro, gets him sent off because they're playing a ball. I mean, sometimes it comes across as just a little bit too late, but is it the pressure of playing for Man United, playing at that massive club? What is it? Why his game has just dropped off so much, Dean?
To my understanding, he never made a single mistake like what we've been seeing at Old Trafford when he played for Milan.
That's what I'm saying.
And that tells you everything you know about the pressure of coming to the theatre of dreams. It's like the shirt just got too heavy for him overnight. And they're not helping him because if you think about it, right, like people say, oh yeah, it's all down to Onana. I'm like, no. That the CDM and the rotation of those back four, there's nothing settled about that Man United back five. And
okay, your worst nightmare.
If you look at our close,
just before you finish, let's bring on everybody's worst nightmare.
Who's that? The chili dog.
VAR, my lord. VAR, my lord.
This man late to the party, you know. Chili dog, what you say, bro?
See this guy.
Yes, Mr. Kofi.
What have you got to say?
Saying, Kofi?
What have you got to say?
What have you got to say, brother?
Nah, man. Listen, we had our
let's just fold our hands and sit back.
We had an off-camera discussion, and we discussed it in full. Listen, that game is dead. You guys, you didn't even win properly. So
we didn't win properly. We won 2-1. What do you mean?
What? With 9 men. 9 men.
How many did you start with?
Listen, forget about how many we started with. You couldn't even get through 9 men.
Yes, Jay. Sorry, Cove. Yes, Jay. What are you saying, Jay?
Come on, big talking.
We couldn't get past 9 men. You had 8 men in defence. What you want us to do?
It took a matic error, and literally you're celebrating 15 minutes before the final whistle was blown.
Yeah. You put 8 men in defence. What you want us to do? You weren't even trying to get up the field. You're
Oh,
shameless.
come on. How can we get out the field with 9 men?
Yeah, you started with 11. I don't know what your players are doing. You need some discipline in that team. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, whatever, mate. Yeah, whatever. Listen, the game is dead. You know, it was a scam game. They knew it because we've been on such a long run, and here comes Tottenham at the lane. They're trying to be big mans now. We've got Angible's in to get them, man. They're still gonna be literally out of the top 4. They're not even going to qualify. So what are you talking about, bro?
Where are we in the league and where are you in the league?
What? We're literally a point behind you, but still.
A point where?
A point behind you. It's a point.
Behind. That's the operative word. Behind. I don't want to hear nothing until you're in front of us.
Yeah. Shut the trap.
What's going on with your Egypt manager about we should replay game? Which game?
Yeah, listen, it's justified. It's justified.
Which game?
Bro. It's justified.
Right. D, has Man United ever lost a game that they should have won because of a mistake?
Ever lost a game they should have won? Probably. But it's fine, isn't it?
No,
yeah, you know, I think every team has had that where you feel that, yeah, you know what, we either got away with one or we got robbed. And Chile, I was just saying to the guys earlier, since that Onana situation in either the first or second game, I can't remember which game it was now, maybe the first game of the season, not a single VAR decision has gone our way since that one. So this is what I said about even it out. Yeah. Every time we've scored and it's been close with an offside or did the ball go over it's gone against us, yeah. So that tells you.
Yeah, go on.
It tells you that we're all going to have these conversations throughout the season where we might get away with one, but then one that we feel that should have been ours, we're not going to get, and we got to take it on the chin a little bit. And I think we just said about it inconsistently. Ez was on earlier, and Ez said that in the World Cup they used the 3D technology where we're not using this in the Premier League, and he said it made it a lot easier to give these decisions, and especially the offside ones and stuff like that. So
I was watching the match. You didn't need no technology. You could see the man was on the side. You could though, innit?
Yeah, you could.
Me and my brethren were sitting down watching it, and we were like, "Oh, that's definitely on." When they said offside, I said, "What?"
It's like, right? Yeah.
It was an absolute travesty, Chile. I mean, Chile. Let me ask you the question. For the integrity of the game, yeah, would it be right for the referee? Yeah, to call both managers and say, look, come on. Yeah, situations happened there. I mean, what game was it? I think it was when Arsenal played, I think it was Sheffield United, and we had to do a replay in the FA Cup. And also there was a game with Leeds, Bielsa, when he allowed their team to walk the ball into the back of the net because something happened. So he kind of overrid the referee because the referee decision was wrong. And Bielsa took it upon himself. He's called over the defender, said, let the player, and he called the rest of the team over, let the player walk the ball into the back of the net.
But he made that decision. I know the one you're talking about. That was his player. They'd been the ones that were gaining. And so
that's right. Yeah.
But no. You know the amount of things that have gone against us.
Before the man sort of kind of said, let me think about this. Man to say, nah, it ain't happening.
Nah.
And you know what as well, though?
I'll send you a thing in the group and it will show you all the ones over the years that have happened to every team. And it happens to everybody, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Look at Mendes from the halfway. In fact, he was in our half, scored against Man United. And they said, no goal. And there was nothing wrong with it. It happens to everybody. So
it will be a season long of these discussions, unfortunately. And not because we want to, but we have to. Because we'll come on and go, now we got robbed up. Now we got, whether it's a blatant penalty. Because this is what they're missing a lot as well. The blatant penalties. The handballs in the box. And like, he's taking him out in the box. And gone to VAR, or the VAR hasn't even said to the referee, go and have a look. Just continue with the game. You're like, hold on, that was the quickest check ever. And when you don't want a quick check, they do a long one and then still go against you. Yeah. So it's like
it's inconsistent. It's very inconsistent.
Let me just say as well, 3 times Tottenham have been wronged, and they've changed the rules directly afterwards because we were wrong so badly. The cup against Kofi, the Champions League, they changed the rule because of the handball. Huh?
What Champions League final?
Yeah,
with
when Sanchez got done for the handball.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
it wasn't Sanchez. It was it Sanchez?
Was it Sanchez? Who was it?
I remember the decision. I
know the decision.
The
it happened to your defender, but I can't remember if it was Sanchez or
when Mane kicked the ball.
Yeah,
and then the guy had his hand.
His hands. No, it wasn't Sanchez. It was the other guy, Sissoko.
That's it. Yeah, that's who it was. Yeah. So then, when Dyer had his back to the and he got a handball.
Yeah, he didn't even know what was going on.
We've been wronged as well, man. So that's what I'm saying.
Listen, we've all been wrong.
Yeah. But and Liverpool last season, they were the team that came second for favourable outcomes from VAR. And this season, they're top. This season they're top for favourable VAR.
This is what as this goes to what I said. Liverpool are the media darlings. I said this before you came on.
Here today,
yeah, no, that's what I said. Like if that happens to one of our clubs, Chile, we're not on this conversation. Our manager won't be allowed to come out and say, "I think we should get a replay." No, that's coming. But the media darlings always, you know what I mean? It's just one of them.
We're now Wednesday. We're now Wednesday, and we're still talking about it.
Talking about it.
You know what I mean? And it's in the papers.
This was scammed.
Statements after statements. Klopp has come out. As I said, Klopp has come out today. You know,
it was. I was listening to the news on my way to work this morning, and they were talking about it. You know what I mean? And it's Wednesday.
So I'm saying, the media darlings will get that attention. Ten Hag ain't getting that.
Because the Brentford game with Ivan Toney when he was
that
happened that weekend and that was it, done.
Maybe he would. No, Ferguson wouldn't get it because Ferguson.
What do you mean? Do you wouldn't
go? No. Let me land. No. Listen to me. There was a time where Fergie wouldn't do no interviews, so Fergie wouldn't have got it. There would have been no sympathy for Fergie because he wouldn't give them the courtesy of after game interviews because they slandered his son in the papers. So it's like, allow it. And he's always send out either the captain or send out his assistant to do the press conferences. And it's like, where's Alex? Yeah, he's not coming today. And this went on for nearly a whole season where a man was like, allow it. I ain't doing it. And I think he got fined every time he didn't do it. He just paid it. He just paid the fine. He didn't care. He's like, I'm not talking to them. And so because Ferguson wasn't the media darling because he was dominating, and they don't like that. But I think whether Liverpool dominated or not, I think Liverpool have always been the media darlings. That's why That's why it's like Klopp. Okay, Klopp's asked for it. Let's pretend to talk about it because he's asked. Any other team, they ain't doing that. They're just shutting it down. Yeah. If that was the other way around and happened to, there's no way Andy's getting our attention. There's no way Andy's getting our attention.
That would have got stopped talking about on Sunday night if it was
exactly. Golf, man, it's a hard one to take, but I said we're all going to take them. We're all going to take them.
Golf, you can get your revenge when they come to Anfield, mate. Yeah,
exactly. I don't think they will.
Yeah, Mark got his number there. Ange Ball.
And he's so calm.
Our record stands good against Tottenham, so I ain't too worried.
That's what you said before the match at the weekend. What happened?
Yeah, but we're not going to go into it again and again. It was rigged. Let's just leave it like that. It was rigged.
Brilliant.
Listen, what was rigged? The way Basuma was bossing the midfield, or the way a Doji bad up Salah makes Salah have to go and play in the middle? Is that what you're talking about?
Salah did his things. He was just washing up that side. Trust me.
Why did Salah move? Doji was roughing him up, mate.
Yeah,
he got past him. Doji did have a good game. He did have a good game. You know what I mean?
Anyway, it's done. The game is done. Let's calm it down. I mean, you got your 3 points. Like,
yes,
you dubiously,
and it's a huge 3 points as well. At this
Huge.
start of the
Absolutely
season,
huge.
Yeah.
Absolutely
it's a huge 3 points. You know,
two,
what I mean?
two North London teams unbeaten. You know what I mean?
Before the last 2 matches, I said I'll be over the moon with 4 points, and that's what we got.
Yeah.
So
But
to
you
get
know
4
what?
points, 4
Jilly,
points from Liverpool and Arsenal, you can't complain. You know,
Can't argue with that, can you? No.
Jelly, you still ain't winning anything for the season. So
Kofi,
we'll just
what's
settle
with
it
all the
like that.
saltiness, man? I don't understand it. if you want to be salty with anyone, be salty with Matip.
I ain't been swearing nobody apart from you, bruv.
That's funny.
But listen, let's just quickly just touch back over
Yes,
to the
Jay.
and basically this whole thing with as Eric Ten Hag, bitten off more than he can chew.
Yeah.
I just said that the old Nana situation.
In what respect, taking on Man United?
Taking on Man, just what's happening with Man United right now. You've gone like this is your worst start of a season in terms of in all competitions, winning only 6 games out. Is it 6 games? Losing 6 games out of 10.
Yeah, 6 out of 10. Yeah, conceding.
I think last time
18. I think we conceded 18.
Was 19
in all competitions.
86 or something like that. Yeah.
That's our average of 3 a game, isn't it?
Yeah. And I looked at you guys when you played in the Carabao Cup against Crystal Palace, and Crystal Palace didn't offer you nothing at Old Trafford that Wednesday or two, whenever you played them.
It's like they threw the game. Because this is what I was hearing. No, and I tell you why I say that. This is what I was hearing. That those rumors coming out that they said they don't have the squad to compete in all that, and they don't want to get
they were
relegated.
talking about punishing them,
Exactly. But they're saying that they don't have. That's why they made so many changes for the United game. I think they left in 3 or 4 senior players and played pretty much reserves, and I think they kept the starting goalkeeper, and just literally like the spine, and just put fringe players around the spine, and so he was just saying that like his priority is to stay in the Premier League, not to win.
That's right. Yeah, I make him right.
So you can't blame him for what he done, but then he made us look better than what we actually are on current form. And then we saw that in the return leg where everyone played their best.
Exactly, because when I watched that game, a lot of Man United fans were getting gassed. I was just like, they couldn't wait to play Crystal Palace at the weekend. Yeah. And mate, when I saw the score 1-0, I'm like, whoa.
And in a way, Norman, I actually get why certain fans were getting gassed because you have to remember, our 2 best players didn't play in that game midweek. He dropped Bruno, he dropped Rashford. And people were saying to me, yo, D, you look better without them. I said, all right, that's mad, innit? How do you look better without your best 2 players?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was saying.
In the midweek game, got you.
In the midweek game, and then there was calls for him not to bring them back at the weekend, as in bring them off the bench.
Yeah.
But Bruno's your captain. He ain't bringing the captain off the bench.
Yeah, you can't.
Unless Bruno's carrying a knock or Bruno's saying to him, boss, you know what? As the captain, I actually feel we should go with that team from Wednesday. Bruno's never saying that. He's not that guy. He's just not, So you knew they were both going to start. And I think it imbalances it because you got Mason Mount back. And just today, when I did my day one, there's a driver came up from Manchester to bring stock. Like, he's not one of our drivers. And the guy in the gate, I said, oh, Big D's a Man United fan. So I went to the window to talk to this guy, total stranger. And he's like, he goes, family of 10, only him and his dad are Man United fan, the other 8 are Man City fans. He lives in Manchester. And he said the crap I've got over the years. So, and everything that we discussed while he was waiting to get checked out from the gatehouse in regards to what we're seeing in our teams, we just agreed with everything. And he's saying, if us the fans can agree that Bruno and Everest can't play together, why does he keep playing them together?
I mean, listen,
I said,
Rashford.
Who did you play on midweek instead of Rashford and Bruno?
He played Garnacho and who was it in midfield? Palestri. There you go.
And what do you think? Do you think they play better without them, or do you think that
we actually?
You look more fluid.
Yeah, we look more fluid, and we kept the ball. This is our big issue. And you remember what I said? What Pep said? Pep said, "There's no point getting that Onana because Man United can't keep the ball." And all you're going to do, like a guy that's press resistant, because you have to remember how high Onana tries to push up in the game because he's expecting us not to keep turning the ball over and catching him out. So you got a defense that's been rotated poorly because of injury. So nothing you can do about that. Even though he got rid of another natural left back on loan that everyone said to keep, the guy that went on tour with them, and so now I'm looking at the holding midfield and that back four of rotation. There's just no. Like every time I see the ball go back there, I just want Onana to kick it long now. He's trying to do what the manager said, play it from the back. I'm just like, just kick it long. Or you actually drop him and say, listen, man, we've made a mistake because the way I want to play right now, I haven't got the players for you to play like that.
Yeah.
And because you that's your speciality. Because if you watch his games from Inter, he's not making the mistakes at Inter. And so I think the pressure of the shirt, the pressure of Old Trafford, and that crappy back four in front of him.
Yeah, and not having the right players to play.
Because if you look at the red card for Casemiro, this what Miguel did to.
Was it a red D?
It was a second yellow. It was a second yellow, wasn't it?
This is what he did, Chile. He took one for the team. And that's why he should be my captain. He took one for the team. Because he knew if he didn't take one for the team, he's scoring. And then the guy misses the penalty. So it was actually worth it in a weird way.
But they missed the penalty as well.
Missed the penalty,
Misses the penalty, and then 3 minutes later, he scores.
And so...
What is it? What is it that... Because for the goal, what was Linda... Not Linda. Was it... No, not Linda. What was Dallup doing? What's Dallup doing?
The moment he lets the ball bounce, they're scoring. And it's like the golden rule. If it, like I played as a defender, that was the one thing they said is don't let that ball bounce. Either head it or put your boot on it.
Question: why did Onana go down? Because
it's like he died. It was on his knees, wasn't it?
His action, the way it's like the ball was kind of underneath him. He had to kind of like scoop it over him.
And it was like
why is he just down?
It's like he went down way too early. It's like he thought he hit it before he hit it. It was weird to watch. It was like, oh, what is this? And then after that, I just went to work.
It's a Onana mistake that cost you.
Is it a combination of things? You guys, you guys are switching off. I mean, listen, Hoyland's both goals. Hoyland goals were fantastic.
Every time Hoyland scored, that lead didn't last more than 5 or 6 minutes. Ridiculous. It's not good enough, man. We've got to be able to say, right, stop pressing, sit back, let's soak it up, and go again. But not us loosely.
Did Rashford get an assist?
Apart from that, I think what he did.
Do nothing else. He didn't do nothing else.
No, it's just because they were saying that Rashford's not playing. Hoyland.
He's getting a lot of heat. There was in that instant in that game, right, D?
Yeah.
Rashford had the chance to score, and he
you see the cutback. The cutback was going to be behind him anyway. And I said, Marcus, just like it's almost like when you want him to be greedy, he don't.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my, like, and then you hear the excuses. Oh, if he was in confident form, he would have scored that. No, once I hear that, how could you not be confident on 375 a week?
Playing
Tell
for
me,
Man United in the Champions League.
I would love to know the luxury of he is so protected, and people saying, oh, he's missing his mate.
Sounds like a player we know, Everts. Gosh.
Well, and I don't want to single out Rashford, but I called this in the summer, and I remember Jason and Ez came after me saying, "Nah, dude, you're wrong. Give him that money, and we'll see, because there was no need for us to give him that money, right? No one came in for him, and I said, "Oh, PSG wants him. All right, then go to PSG. Then go on your 400 grand a week at PSG, because he's not telling me." He's not telling me he can. You know, like I look at Roy Keane. I look at Brian Robson. When we needed someone to get the game by the scruff of the neck, these mans did that. Same with Bruno. As a captain, I need you to settle that situation down and go get me a goal or assist, because this is what Roy Keane and Brian Robson would do. And I look at that and I say, my captain shouldn't be my captain. I'm my star boy. And now there's guys that have access to Old Trafford, and they said Rashford is the main man. when you go to Old Trafford, Carrington, all that, it's like almost Rashford should be the captain because of the influence that he has.
He has, yeah.
But on the pitch, you're not seeing it. And I can't keep making excuses for him because he's been here too long now. What's he now? 26 years old. He came in at 19. It's not, the Premier League is not new to him. The pressure of Old Trafford is not new to him. Through the academy. This is what happened is, right? It was a European game, Louis van Gaal. And I can't remember the striker that got injured. And Marcus just came with the squad. He says,
I remember he scored 2 goals in his first
he scored
games,
2 goals,
didn't it?
and he was in school the following morning.
He
was back in second school the following morning. And he was like, he said honestly, the gaffer said to me, I'm gonna have to start here. And he went, what? Because he wasn't. I don't think it was even a sub at the time. But the injury in the early morning, forced his hand, and it says, "You're up, mate." I can't remember what. He had a high number on his shirt, probably in the 50s or something like that. they just printed 2 shirts out for him, and I went, "Wow, this kid's just falling on his feet here." And it was Louis van Gaal that just said, "You're up, son." And he went, "What, me?" Yeah. He's injured. He's suspended. We had no strikers.
Yeah. Was that? Did he score his debut goal against us by any chance?
No. It was a Europa League or
all right. But in the Premier League, I'm talking about the Premier League.
His first 2 games, he scored 2 goals in each game.
Each game, yeah. And that was him in. So straight away, he became a cult hero at that young age. But I don't see where he's.
Bro, saying,
yes, Scott, how you doing, bro? I just don't see, because I think last season the 30 goals in all competition, it was a purple patch. Do you know that Rashford went nearly 3 months without scoring and still had that 30 goals in all?
Wow.
Jeez.
Because he peppered some really poor teams. And then the back end of the season, I remember coming on here saying, I don't know what Marcus is doing. He can't hit a barn door now. He's just like after the World Cup, he had a real purple patch and then he just dropped off a cliff. And on that, what, 3/4 of a season or whatever it was, new contract. There you go. No one came in for him. If someone said to me, "There's 5 teams in for him, you got to give him his money," I'll be like, fair enough. And I'm seeing the guys on TalkSport and Sky Sports and the Ben Jacobs and Fab and all these guys that we respect all saying, "Here we go, Rashford to PSG, Rashford to." If Real Madrid and Barcelona ain't coming in for him, I ain't interested, mate. I'm not panicking as a club. I'm not giving them a pay rise unless one of them 2 teams are trying to poach him.
That's the problem that Man United players have got in it. There's only a handful of clubs where you're going to actually be taking a step forward,
exactly,
sideways. You know what I mean?
And no one came in for him, Chile. Yet we just umped his money. You remember that?
Do you feel that? Sorry. Do you feel that after what's happened with Ronaldo, that some of the senior players are now acting in the same way or the same manner?
Oh yeah, definitely, most definitely. And then the Sancho thing doesn't help either.
It's not because he's still yet to apologise. He looks like he could end up.
And I tell you why he's not going to apologise, because he's convinced and I'm going to get fired.
Wow. And that's the question. That's the next question I want to put to you, D. Is he staring down a barrel?
I'm going to say no, right? And the reason why is that the Glazers have stopped taking dividends and we're getting players on loan like Amrabat. So to turn around and give Ten Hag 25 mil to walk away, they ain't doing it. Not my owners. If they do it, they're putting more debt on the club to do it. They're going to take a loan out from the bank to pay him off his severance. You know what I mean? So for him to get fired, I think, well, you saw the booing already, but I think game after game after game, that Old Trafford 75,000 plus have to turn on this man like a pack of wolves, and then then it forces their hands. But the Glazers won't want to give him compensation. They would rather he quit. He's not going to quit. He's that guy.
Have they sacked anyone?
Who?
The Glazers.
Yeah, every time they sacked Ollie, they sacked Jose, they sacked LVG, they sacked David Moyes. You can't. I mean, they probably paid out 150 million compensation.
But a lot of that was from the fan pressure, wasn't it? The fan pressure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
it's
the fans
like
wanted him gone.
Yeah. But it's the fans now. Do you know what I mean?
If you heard the boost,
you've got you got some people on the side of him and some, give him another, just give him, give him another season. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously he still hasn't got the players that he's got in to play his system, and not only that as well.
Yeah,
what I'm hearing is that Eric Ten Hag, he's scouting. It's not that fantastic because he's like, he's getting players from his ex-club or from that
or who his agent recommends
as well.
Nah, I just don't want it from your agent. Nah, allow that. If you look at it as well, Norm, he's never really got his first choice signings. He's always getting second and third choice signing, and then there's no way Weghorst is a Ten Hag signing. He just needed legs.
Yeah,
and he goes, okay, you can't get me him. I can't get you him. Okay, give me Weghorst then. How often is he going to do that? So it's like the Kane thing. He wanted Harry Kane, Harry Kane never wanted to go to Germany. Trust me on that one, Chilly.
No, if you'd come in for him and come with 100 mil, you would have got him. But you were there bartering with me, trying to give me your off cast.
But this was me. This was me running joke on you. But the club, right? The club should have done the deal.
What for 100 mil?
Harry would have come to Man United.
Yeah, definitely.
And still, and I'm saying, get Harry and still bring in Højlund. Because we needed two strikers. Because Martial's going down in a heartbeat.
But they're not going to do that when you've got Rashford there.
Yeah, but Rashford can't play out front.
How much would you have had to pay Harry Kane? 300 grand a week?
Probably
more. No. Yeah, but it'd be on more than 400k. 400k.
Easy.
Yeah, because he's England captain.
Remember, that's what I'm saying, Chili. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what your club offered him that.
100 million, 400k a week, and the captain's armband. If Harry Kane comes in, give him the armband. He captains England. Give him the armband. You know what I'm saying? You don't bring the England captain to your club and tell him that you're the captain, and you just spend 100 million on him. So you're like, sorry, Bruno, you're going to be vice captain. Harry's captain. He's getting 400k a week. Here's the armband. No, seriously, I'm serious.
Bruno don't take those things lightly. So that.
He's petty. I know he's petty. No, but to be fair, everyone knocks Maguire. I've knocked him, but Maguire had to take that one on the chin. That's not nice getting demoted like that. Because he loved telling everybody that he was Man United captain, even when he's playing crap. Because I was captain when Ronaldo was it. He loved telling man's that. But now look at him, he's just holding bench. Now, I wouldn't have him holding bench. I'd be like, he was your former captain. Yes, he's got a mistake in him. He's got that bozo junior in him. But when we need... we're playing Amrabat at left back. Come on, man. What are you doing?
Yeah, but Maguire ain't a left back.
No, but what I'm saying is that you play Maguire in the middle. You play...
Shaw.
No, Shaw's injured. You play Dalot at left back and you make Lindelof play right back. You don't play
Amrabat for one of the goals was fought for one of the goals yesterday.
Well, this what me and this random driver that I was talking to this morning. That's what we said. We said, why is he playing this so-called holding midfielder at left back? Because he ain't got the.
They all seem to do it. Arsenal.
He's flat-footed, isn't he? If you look at Amrabat, he's a little bit flat-footed.
Well, he was a mistake for one of the goals, wasn't he?
And so
yesterday, so
So us as fans, and this, like I say, a random fan, and we literally agreed on every single point that each other made about what he's getting wrong. And I remember I said to you a few weeks back, I don't think he listens to the coaches. Otherwise, he wouldn't be doing what he's doing there. And if you're saying that I'm picking a team on merit, then Bruno and Rashford shouldn't be in the starting lineup, which is really probably hard to say because
Bruno's my boy, man.
He gives the ball away, Chilly. His ball retention. So he's not scoring. He's not really getting that much assists, and he's giving the ball away. Like, if you look at Mason Mount, and dare I say it, Everest had a decent game yesterday.
Okay.
And I thought, okay, I see what you're about. I think his confidence got up. I think when he pulled him out before the international break with that alleged injury, he weren't injured. He got to get him out of the limelight because he was having a stinker. Now he seems to have probably just got himself a little bit fitter. He seemed to be on it yesterday, but you can't play him and Bruno together. Now, all the Man United fans are saying that. You can't start them both together. But he keeps doing it. So it's like, I don't know what this guy...
Well, listen...
Those guys are getting fired, Norm.
Your bottom You're bottom of Champions League table as it currently stands. Yeah, no points. Yeah,
I think we're done now.
What did you lose your first game? Who was
you
your
lost both the games. Yeah,
Bayern Munich. Yeah, 4-3 Bayern Munich.
3-2 at home yesterday to Galatasaray. And by the way, that's the first time Galatasaray has won on English soil.
But imagine Zaha scoring.
But see, Zaha
and Sissoko set up.
That was personal, wasn't it? That was personal because he felt that United done him dirty, and I think we did do him dirty because of the whole alleged. You know,
anyway, but listen. So D, with that said, I would say we could quickly move on from there. So. Does he last till Christmas? As I said, if he doesn't make it out, the Champions Group stage, I mean,
they may pull the trigger. Right. They may borrow 30 million and pay him off. But then,
who do you get?
Whoa, I'm hearing if they fire him, they're going to give it to Steve McLaren until the end of the season.
What?
That's what I'm hearing.
That's mad.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Because he's already there, isn't he? He's already on salary. He's already there. That's what I'm hearing. That they're going to give to Steve McLaren if they can.
From Scott, Anana, just stand up, mate.
Yeah. Scott, he took the knee early, man. It's like I said to Normski, Scott. I thought, did he see the guy fake shoot and he goes down? Because then he was like, "What are you doing, bro?" I was just like, and he's not tall either. He's not tall. He's got tall hair. He's got tall hair.
If you fire him, D, I think you should try and get De Zerbi. He seems to be a good manager.
No. If we fire him, if we fire him, I want Flick. Hansi Flick. I want. Hansi Flick. Yeah, if we fire him, but Hansi Flick going to cost you money. You've had all
these big name managers, man. You need to go for.
Nah.
You need to go for someone like Ange. You need to go for someone like Ange.
Don't even mention that name.
Chilly, just quickly. Did you see how Norman's ex-manager dismantled De Zerbi on the weekend? Did you see that masterclass? Yeah, I'm good, mate. It's Brighton. If he comes to the Theatre of Dreams, with 75 on his neck. United. No, bro. If he comes to the Theatre of Dreams with that pressure on his neck, and he can't handle Aston Villa, nah, bruh. I'm not convinced.
What's a game? Ollie Watkins hat trick.
That's another brother that I would consider to team up with Hoyland.
Well, he's an Arsenal supporter, so if anything,
we've always had Man United. You see, under Fergie, Fergie always had a 4 striking rotation.
Always.
And you look at us now. One, 21-year-old kid. That's the we pinning all our hopes on. Come on, man. It's retarded.
We've got Nketiah.
Sorry.
Who did you have when you had Van Nistelrooy?
So we had Van Nistelrooy, Van Persie didn't really play with them.
Nistelrooy,
no. Van Persie was with Rooney.
That's it.
And there's one more. It will come. I'm trying to remember who was
Ollie Gunnar.
Ollie.
Yeah.
Fergie has always had at least 3, if not 4. You see how Liverpool are now with a 5 striker option. That's like
how did that work out for them at the weekend, having 5 strikers?
They got robbed.
What?
That's how it worked out.
Robbed.
Chilly. All this waywardness of you like switching between teams, I wouldn't be surprised if later on in the season you start switching to Man City again.
He's back to Man City, mate.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, we're playing Ange ball, baby. I don't need to be switching. I'm
Norms, this is what I would say as well. If we go to Anfield and Man City and get slapped again like last season, I think he's gone.
You know,
when do you go there?
We're getting out the 7
we go to. I think we go to Man City first.
Yeah, you got Man City.
We go to Man City first.
After the international break, I think it's 2 games after the international break. You got Man City.
But if he goes there,
I think you got Newcastle in that run as well.
What? At their ground?
I think so. I know you're at home to Man City, and I think you're away to Newcastle.
But yeah, that's what I feel. I feel like if he takes 2 heavy losses again.
Yeah.
That like you can't go back-to-back seasons getting clapped by Liverpool and Man City at their ground.
And the thing is, your next game I think is Copenhagen at home, and then I think you go away to Galatasaray. So you have to win that game. But the problem is,
if we get a point at Copenhagen.
No, Copenhagen are coming to you guys.
Right.
You'll beat
And
them
if they get a point at Old Trafford, throw it. I don't want to play Europa League football. Forget it. Throw it. Because that's it. Because that's 1 point from 3. Yeah. I would rather go with 2 cup runs and try and qualify in the top 5 than go to Europa League. And this time we got all them injuries playing on artificial pitches in America. You're going to do the same thing in Europa. I would rather he use his sense and say, just give some of the youth some run now and put it down to experience. And then we just concentrate on a good league finish and the two domestic cups. I'm serious. I don't want to play Europa League football, no.
Well, listen.
That's just me. I can't speak for any other Man United fan.
Let's see what the future holds for Erik ten Hag and his merry men. As I said, you've got your next game is Brentford at home before the international break.
And we can't go into another national break like we did losing to you guys.
No,
we can't do that again. Otherwise,
not good.
That's all you're going to hear for the whatever week and a half, 2 weeks of it.
What I would say though is that Højlund does look tasty. Yeah?
I felt sorry for the kid.
2 goals, but
I tell you, if I'm Højlund this morning when I came to training, if he was training, they might give him a day off. But my next training session, I'm punching everyone their man in their nose on that back four. They're all getting chinned because Norman, we robbed that kid. We robbed that kid from a night of glory at Old Trafford.
Yeah, he was good.
He should have had a tracksuit, Norm.
Yeah, both.
He should have been a hat trick.
Both goals.
I'm like, how this kid? He arrived,
Yeah.
and we crapped on him.
Yeah.
That's what we do. We are passion killers.
Yeah. But no, seriously, that every player that comes to you guys,
gosh.
You know what I mean? And Nana was fantastic for Milan. Look at him now.
And we made him worse. How we made him worse?
I mean, he had Mark Goldbridge for United stand calling for his head and saying, "Why? Bring back the Gay." I don't know if it was tongue in cheek.
No, I don't want the
Gay.
Gay
They said
back.
that the Gay can't get a club.
No, he can't. No. You see what he wants? He wants a club that is competing, and no one's. He doesn't want to be. He doesn't want to be a number 2 either. So he's turned down. Apparently, he's turned down quite a few okay clubs, but he wants a big club to come in for him.
He wants an elite club.
Yeah, he wants a elite club to come in for him. I think that shit may have sailed for him, unfortunately. But he's got a wife that won't live just anywhere. She's very picky now. She wants the kids to grow up in. I think she wants the kids to grow up in Spain now, and none of the big Spanish 4 have come in for him. So yeah, you don't.
Can you imagine he was linked with Real Madrid at one time? You know what I mean?
Right. And the fax machine.
Man's now sitting on his Todd now. You know what I mean? Praying and hoping that someone will come in for him. But
he's earned enough money to
Exactly, bro.
Exactly.
I don't feel sorry for him.
Yeah,
$375 a week for the last 4 seasons. Come on, bro.
Bro.
That's peas, isn't it? 20 million a season, Kof.
Absolutely.
Happy days.
But listen, let's quickly move on. So look, we kind of briefly touched on it. Aston Villa just slapping up Brighton 6-1.
Yeah.
Brighton were all at sea. I don't know what happened. I didn't expect that kind of scoreline. Unai Emery, our ex-manager, got them well drilled. Ollie Watkins getting a hat trick in that game.
Yeah, nice.
I think for us, Arsenal, we need someone like Ollie Watkins because at least he knows where the back of the net is. Do you know what I mean?
You got Jesus.
He's a second.
He's the next coming, mate.
No, bro, it wasn't me. Yeah, what? It wasn't me. Let me just say
well, maybe not you, but the rest of the Arsenal fan
base.
It
Bro. You understand?
It
wasn't me. Yeah, it was not me. But what I'm saying is that Holly, second highest goal scorer, I think with 6 goals, and obviously Haaland with 8. And Haaland is having a little bit of a what we call not a purple patch. What's the opposite when you're not scoring? A no patch.
Yeah.
No patch.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, but listen, he's still top goal scorer. He's still top goal scorer. But the thing is, as I said, Aston Villa literally it could have been more goals. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's the thing with De Zerbi. He will continue to play. He plays attacking football. He doesn't change. And I think sometimes, especially when if Chile is saying like, Man United should look at him, would he be a right fit for Man United? I mean, he would play exciting football,
Yeah.
But man, you're gonna see kind of some of these kind of score lines. And again,
but Man United have got much better players.
Say that again, Chilly?
Man United have got much better players.
Yeah. Man for man.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah. I hear that.
Saying that, we have struggled against them, Chile.
They're the same situation as us. Our first team defense is very good, like it's excellent. But if either of our centre backs get injured, we're in trouble. We've got Eric Dyer back, mate.
Yeah, and we'll come on to Tottenham, because obviously I'll put a thing in there about our Tottenham, title challengers, or is it just, as Gary Neville said, spirited, right? But
he was hating on us, man. He was all sucking up to Liverpool and Klopp.
We'll come on to that, but just quickly, listen, we go away to AFC Bournemouth. Bukayo Saka handed out Christmas presents. I think he could have had a hat trick of penalties. Ended up giving one to Havertz, who tucks it away. But as far as I'm concerned, Havertz is just a waste of space. Don't know
Did you
why.
see how they celebrated with him when he scored it?
And apparently, I don't know how true it is. I'm hearing that they gave the man of the match to him as well. That Arsenal gave the man of the match. Why?
No.
Why?
You see, Arsenal, right? Arsenal are messing up my fantasy league, because Saka is on penalties. Why you give? This is the second time that Saka's given a penalty, giving a penalty to the opponent when he's the main guy for penalties at Arsenal. I'm like, bro, that's why you're in my team, because you take penalties. Come on, man. Furious.
And in that game, we win that game 4-0. Saka goes down injured. Now, my problem, and I just want to bring this up now. Arteta needs, first of all, his in-game management and his man management. His in-game management, managing Saka, especially with the injuries that this guy's been picking up. He goes down in that AFC Bournemouth. He comes off the thing. So you think, okay, rest him for the Champions League game. We'll go away to Lens. Apparently, have not played in Champions League in the last 20 years. So this is the first time we're going there. And I felt after we, dispatched the AFC Bournemouth, everybody's in good spirits. Don't think you're just going to go down and turn up at Lens just because they've been out of Champions League for 20 years. They're 15th in their league currently. They're not playing brilliant. But, mate, yesterday, we was a complete joke. We was a complete joke. The way we approached the game, we got the first goal from Jesus, and then we just sat back, did nothing. Sideways, backwards. That's all it was. Yeah, didn't offer no penetration, nothing. And then Saka goes down injured. I think Arteta was saying it's possibly a thigh injury or whatever, some sort of muscle injury. He's running this guy into the ground. I've said it
he did it last season, Norm, as well.
Yeah, we talked about it during the transfer window that we need to get a backup for Saka, somebody that's on his level or better. Because what you're going to find out is that this is his 86th game he's played in a row in the Premier League. There's no respite for this guy.
Yeah, because I actually thought he wasn't going to start at the weekend because he came up as injured on the fantasy league. So I was shocked that he started.
He's trying to catch up with Frank Lampard. That's all that is.
Is it?
Say that again, Jim?
He's trying to catch up with Frank Lampard. Don't he hold the record?
Just stop trying to break stupid records. I ain't got time for that, man. Yeah? Because now there's a possibility, not to say that we're going to do anything against Man City, but he could be missing for that game. And then you bring on Fabio Vieira, who's not a winger. Yeah, he's a number 10. He's not a winger. So he's not quick. Yeah? And his own in-game management in terms of, look, Reece Nelson scored against Brentford for us to get through to the next round against West Ham in the next round of the Carabao Cup. You think, okay, you've done that. Give him a go in the Bournemouth game. No, he doesn't. Is it? No. You've given him a contract of 100,000 a week, 4-year contract. Yet you won't play the guy. He's probably the nearest thing to Saka in terms of because he can play on the right and the left. Obviously, he plays more off the left, but he's more direct and he's quick. Yeah, Fabio Vieira is not that winger. He's not a winger.
Well, if you look at your game, though, if you look at your game for the weekend, Pep is resting Alvarez for you guys, boy. Yeah, tonight he's resting Alvarez tonight.
Yeah, but listen. As I said, okay.
Boy,
You look at you see, Wolves had a game plan. Yeah, Wolves had a game plan, and they stuck to that game plan. Now I'm saying we're a better team than Wolves, but the problem with us is that it's that, and I think until we get over that mental block against Man City on Sunday, if we don't get over that, I just think it's another trouncing. Do you know what I mean? All right, yeah, Rodri's not going to be playing. De Bruyne's not going to be in there, but they've got players that can hurt you still. I think you've got Silva coming back, Bernard Silva coming back. You've got John Stones coming back.
He starts tonight. He starts.
There you go.
He started tonight.
They're going to go 4-1.
He's got Foden, Grealish, and he's gone Foden, Grealish, and Silva.
Haaland's up front.
Yeah, on his own.
Yeah. And then away to Leipzig. So we'll have to see how they got on with that. But listen, he's run Saka to the ground, and this is what's happened. This is the benefit of now what's happened. This is Arteta playing this guy constantly, day in, day out, knowing that the guy's injured or carrying an injury, but yet you carry on playing, managing properly. Or what he should have done in the summer was go and buy some decent players rather than going and spending 65 million on a chocolate fire guard.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so I'll just leave it at that, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But listen, we go.
Yeah, but he's a number 10, ain't he?
Who? Kai Havertz?
Yeah.
Well, he plays as a 10 attacking. He's more of an attacking thing. He's not where Arteta's got him playing as like this. I don't even know where he plays him. I really haven't got a clue what he does. It seems you haven't got a Scooby-Doo what this guy does.
You know what, no? You look at that, right? And I said to my brother yesterday, I said, this is going back to, square, round into squares or squares into rounds.
Yeah.
Right? Like, our captain has the number 8 tattooed on his blessed arm. They don't play him in the 8. You know what I mean? It's like, bro.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
Like, how much of a hint do you want? He's got the number 8 tattooed on his arm, and you play him on a right wing. You play him in the 10.
It's ridiculous.
Said, oh my gosh! And these managers overthink it. So when they get fired or they have to fall on their sword, you can't feel sorry for them. Because
but as a lot of people said
positions.
A lot of people said that Arteta will fall on his sword when it comes to Havertz. Yeah,
I think he has to, doesn't he?
That will, you know what I mean? Because this guy. Everybody's willing him. Everybody's willing him. You got the club, you got the fans, those deluded ones out there saying, yeah, come on. He does a lot of work off the ball. I want to see what you're doing on the ball. Yeah,
because if you
come on.
Scoring a penalty does not really happen mentally. He needs to score an open play.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And so I think I get why they did it, but it's like, nah, bro. Don't give him a penalty.
Yeah, but we don't
score an open play.
You don't buy a player that's been in the Premier League for 3 years. This is his 4th year or so. Yeah. You don't spend that money to try and get the players. I wouldn't say attitudes. It's more of him being more confident. Yeah.
We're find his form or some form.
Yeah. We're 10 games in terms of all competition, and it's not. Where's the confidence?
Yeah.
Where is it? But we're spending all this time and effort, giving him penalties, making up this song for him, doing this, doing that. He ain't doing nothing. He ain't offering us nothing. It's £65 million down the drain.
It's like your man trying to
paying him.
Yeah, it's like your man just trying to squeeze the last juice out the orange.
Yeah, using this term about shoehorning him in. He's been shoehorned in. Yeah, he's been shoehorned in. Yeah, we could, as I said, we could have got Maddison. We could have got Basuma for the same price. Yeah, we could have got Maddison and Basuma for the price that we spent.
That's mental when you think about it, especially how the two of them are playing.
40 million.
Look what Maddison's doing right now. Look what the guy is doing. Look what he's doing.
And Basuma.
About to say that.
Basuma, mate.
Yeah.
He's like a new player for you guys, Chili. Basuma.
Absolutely.
Because Conte had the reins on him.
Yeah.
It's like
just killed his
Conte
game.
was constantly pulling him back, and now Andrew said, "Go do your thing, boss."
Yeah. But listen, let's just quickly move. Newcastle beating Burnley 2-0. Just to say that Burnley yesterday got their first, I think, a win away to Luton. 2-1 against Luton, and Luton beating Everton
2-1 at their ground. So, bro,
fair play to Luton, man. Fair play to Luton.
You know what I mean? Fair play. And then obviously the shock result of the weekend: Wolverhampton beating Man City 2-1 in that game. But Man City just didn't look at the races in that game. Do you know what I mean? Even
they're gonna hurt you come the weekend, man.
Listen, I'm worried. Don't
be worried. It might be interesting. You know.
Well, let's see.
They're going to be angry. They're looking to take it out on somebody, and that's Arsenal.
Exactly. And I'm going to watch them tonight. After this, I'm going to go and watch them, see how these mans are. I don't even know if they're winning at the moment. I don't know if they've banked any goals yet, but I'm going to have to watch them.
It was like 6 minutes in when I checked.
Okay, so we'll just see what.
Yeah,
happens.
14 minutes in. No, I'm still nil.
Still nil.
Yeah.
And as I said, Nottingham Forest and Brentford drew 1-1 on Sunday, and the Monday night game was. We gave the applauded to Ez, Chelsea winning that game 2-0 against Fulham. Fulham were absolutely terrible. Mate, they were just inept, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're missing the big fella, aren't they? Mitrovic, they're missing him.
Yeah. They're absolutely. They got that Jimenez guy from Wolves, and
but he's been dead from it. After that injury, he's not been the same player.
Just not the same. Not the same.
Yeah, he's not been the same.
Newcastle are 1-0 up against PSG.
Wow! At home.
Wow, Nicky Browns. Go on to Nicky Browns.
Is that away or home, Jill?
Newcastle are at home.
They're at home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be
Almiron in the 17th minute.
Man like Almiron, you know.
Listen, Newcastle are starting to pick back up again. They started
Nicky Browns.
Shaky at the start of the season. I think they lost 3 games in a row, and then obviously. They bagged. What team was it that they scored something like 8 goals? Was it Sheffield United? They beat them 8-0. Yeah, something ridiculous. You know what I mean?
That was criminal. That was
8 different goal scorers as well.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. And let's just finish off with this before the show, and then we'll do the what's going on prediction. And interestingly enough, the tables have turned, and there's a new leader in the house. But
I got bumped in it.
Oh, don't worry about that. You picked Man City, bro, but they did not turn up this weekend.
They did not turn up.
Let me just put this one here to the people in the chat, and obviously Chile. Our Spurs title contenders, or according to Gary Neville, and I know you're going to say he's just hating, just spirited. What do you say to that, Chile? The way your team is playing, they're playing really well. There's some fans coming on TalkSport saying that they really do believe that they can win the league. Only playing 1 game a week. Exciting, Ange Ball, celebrating. What was Chili? Can I just ask you one question, yo? You're talking about us over celebrating. You had Basuma with his children, the kids on the pitch, man. It's like it's the last game of the season. You won the Champions League. What's going on, bro?
Right.
Come on, man. Please.
Did you see what we just done to Liverpool after how many years?
I don't care.
You damn straight we celebrate. Look how you not celebrated scoring a penalty. I ain't trying to hear it.
No way, mate. I couldn't believe they were doing. Listen, they were doing a lap. Listen, they were doing a lap of honor.
We do that after every game because we respect the fans. They respect the fans. They go around every match.
Oh my God! Basuma with his 14 people coming on like the last game of the season. 1 Champions League. Come on, man. Calm down. You couldn't. You know what I mean? It took Matic to score the goal for you, guy.
They need to calm down. We're not going to win the league. We're playing good football, but if you have a look at it, Sheffield United, we were lucky there. We scored like late. Liverpool against 9 men, we scored late. So we were lucky again. Do you know what I mean? And so that luck will only last so long. Having said that, they do say you have to get lucky to win the league. So,
yeah. Could you do a Leicester? That's the big question.
No.
But, all right, a question then. Okay, so...
Just to be... If we
do you think you could push Man City? Do you think, or is it going to be more of you're finishing quite high up in the Champions League position?
I think Liverpool are going to push Man City... And we'll finish in the top 4 or top 5.
Okay, cool. And this year, top 5 is Champions League, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. That's right. Yeah, because City won it.
Yeah. So that'd be interesting. Okay, fair enough. People in the chat, what do you think? Do you think that Spurs will be title contenders? Do you think they'll end up in the top 4? Or is Gary Neville right? They're just spirited and they're just, you know what I mean? They'll soon fizzle out. Let me know
what your thoughts are in the chat.
And we've got to buy defenders. We've got to get backup defenders as well.
Yeah,
because
my only worry for you guys,
we're in trouble.
That's what I'm going to say. I think the only worry is that if, say, Maddison gets injured because he's one of your key players, Maddison gets injured, or Son, because right now both Maddison and Son are carrying injuries. They're playing
as soon as he took those off against Liverpool, we had no spark.
Exactly. Yeah. You saw the drop off. So people, let me know in the chat what you think concerning that. But we're coming down to the last thing.
And we don't want to hear what Scott's got to say, though. Scott can just chill.
Right, we're coming down to the last thing here, and this is the what's going on prediction league table. And to Chile, you're loving this, mate. Chile.
Go on, Chile.
We are top of the league. We are top of the league. We are top of the league. We are.
The changing of the guard. The changing of the guard.
It's taking him a whole season. And
I said to you, D, I'm coming. Oh, look at that big gap, D.
Oh, 3-point collector, boy. 3-point collector.
Yeah, Chile's a 3-point collector today.
Listen to this. So listen, as you can see, people in the chat, Chile has jumped with the correct score of 2-1.
Against
2-1 to Tottenham against Liverpool.
Yeah, but Chile, if I didn't say 2-1, you wouldn't have gone for 2-1. So
I was going for 2-1.
Yeah, whatever, man.
I said I thought it was going to be 2-2, but I'm going to go for 2-1 because Norman said I shouldn't sit on the fence. What a move that was, Chile. So basically Chile jumps ahead. He's on 8 points, followed by Big D and myself on 5 points, Kofi on 4 points, and Ez on 5th points. And the only reason why Ez is still in 5th place is because obviously if you look at the form, Kofi's got a better form in terms of his predictions, whereas Ez in the last couple of weeks had 2 incorrect scores. But there, that lovely green spot there by Chile. I'm the only one with a green spot. What's going on? D, man, what's going on?
That's the first one. Yeah, you're the first one to get the exact score and result right.
Yeah, but last season you were doing it week after
week. Week after week, yeah.
Too many distractions, man.
And
I'll look soon, man. Don't worry. I'll come focused again. You know that one.
So obviously we're going into game week 8. So people, put your. I know D's probably even doing it right now as we speak.
Yeah. What's that? What's that?
Put your scores in. Your prediction scores.
You know me, guys. You know me.
This weekend's game. See, look at it. Villa 2, Wolves 1 straight away.
Nah, this is what I try to do. I just put it in pre-show. That is.
You know what? I think you got
so
one there. Do you know what? Villa 2. That looks like a good call there, D.
Yeah, because Ollie Watkins is on fire at the moment.
Yeah.
It's like run.
Yeah. So well done, Chile. So Chile tops the table. So we'll see how the weekend. Chile. You Chile, you don't do this to me, Chile, please.
4-1.
It'll be tighter than that. Chile,
man said City 4 is so wicked, man. The man is wicked. Why are you doing this to me, man? Why? Hey? Oh, man.
If you want a good score and a predictable score, I say probably 3-1.
4-1, they're gonna hurt them.
But that's it. You can't change it now. It's in there now. It's locked.
Yeah, I'm changing it.
It's locked. It's
locked, man. It's locked.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a browse through and see what team I can go and nick another point.
We've got Luton.
There's some really tight games, you know.
Yeah. Well, at home, you got Luton at home, haven't you?
No, away.
Yeah.
You're away.
What? Tottenham is away to Luton.
Yeah. It's at Luton.
Okay.
Yeah, sure, it's at Luton.
They'll still win.
That's the biggest team that's been in that ground for about 52 years.
Because Chile, you guys have got the 12:30 kickoff at Luton.
How good is it, Scott?
Yeah. On Saturday. Man. On Saturday you got the 12:30.
Effectively, if they've got the early kickoff, they could go top.
Yeah, they could.
Top
of the league.
Top
of the league, you know, my guy.
Listen, you can see Chili's feeling the pressure now, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
Hold it, Chili. Say it with chest, man. Come on.
I will. About 3 o'clock on Saturday, come looking for me. I'll let you know what I'm saying.
Okay, listen. Well, let's go to D, and D's gonna now do the
yeah, there you go. No,
what's going on podcast fantasy league shout out. So let's see.
So movers and shakers. So your guy Richard talks on a mad one, mate. He's really holding his own right now, Chili.
He got lucky though because he put Saka on the bench.
Did he?
He had Noodles, and Noodles didn't start.
Oh, so he got the flip. Yeah, he got the flip.
Yeah, so he got
Kofi about to say. Yeah. Kofi's a mover. 59. That's pretty decent, Kof. So if you look at it, we've got from 7 upwards already on 400 points now. 400 plus points. Wow. I dropped off hard. I'm down to 10th. Where is Malcolm XFC?
Where's Malcolm XFC?
She's not bottom though, Norm. She dropped to 14th.
She's second from bottom?
No, third from bottom. Third from
bottom. Malcolm X is third from bottom.
Yeah, and then Chili's just above her. Chili is just above her, you know, bro. But man's like Kofi handling it. Kofi jumped to 5th. So he's in the Champions League spot right now, Kof.
Wow.
Doing good.
Scott,
how many points did I get, D?
Look at Scott, man.
Scott. Oh, yeah, Scott as well. Scott's up to 3rd, mate. So Scott, Scott with a solid 76, man. You got yourself, my guy, Scott.
I'll have to have a look at Scott's team.
Yeah, and then I think that other guy's yours as well. Rice Baby, Sean Connolly. I think that's your guy.
Mate,
yeah. So he's 4th, 9. He's keeping up with Richard Tuck. You know what I mean? And Scott's in the conversation as well now, as well as Adam Weaver, and then Kofi. Kofi and my guy Dale Grady a joint 5th on 409. So and then Ez jumped as well, 77 points. That's a nice one for Ez as well.
Great.
So he's on 401. So yeah, man, it's nice, Norm. It's doing good, man.
How many points is Malcolm X FC on?
She is on 359.
Come on, Malcolm X. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Sort it out.
So he can make a
sort
point.
it out.
Yeah, but for me, I had a shocker. I was the lowest scoring that weekend, 30 points.
Ooh,
absolute stinker.
Scoring by 1 point over.
Yeah, and then Ez the highest on 77. So
did you say you was the lowest scorer this week?
Yeah, lowest scorer this week. Yeah,
is that right?
30
Scott,
points.
what's with the triple captain?
Already, the Scott triple captain
on Haaland. You got 6 points.
Oh, that's criminal, Scott. My lord, I missed that. But you know what, Scott's in 3rd still though. He's pushing. He may have gone a little early with that triple captain, but that's all right. I mean,
how many times can you use that?
Once in the season.
Once in the season, right?
So you your triple captain, your bench boost, and what's the other one? Bench boost, triple captain, and then you've got 2
free hit.
The free hit, and then you've got 2 wild cards. So you got the free hit where you can make as many subs as you want without being penalised. Then you got the bench boost where you get the bench points as well as the team points, and then the triple captain on whoever you put that one on, and then you're allowed 2 wild cards in the season where you can change your whole team, and not be penalised by activating the wild card. So, but you got to do it in half of the season. So you got to do it before end of January, I think it is, and then obviously before the end of the season. So if you've still got all 5 chips, then you're still in it. That's how I see it. If you've still got all 5 chips to use, then you're still in the game, man. Regardless.
So Richard Tuck is
funny.
But the gap is closed though, isn't it? It's Rice Baby's always been within touching distance of.
He's always been within touching, and now Scott is in the conversation now. So yeah, man, it's good. It's heating up nicely, man.
Big up.
I'm just dropping off, mate. I'm dropping off the season already. So
sounds a little bit like Man United, isn't it?
Right, like form follows form, Norman. You think I'm joking? Form follows form at the moment. It's like, my lord, reality, fantasy.
Well, listen, we got another big weekend of games coming up. As I say, Chile, own it, mate. Own it. You're going top of the league on
Top
Saturday.
of the league. Top of the league. Top of the league.
3 o'clock.
Come on, you Spurs.
People, listen, in the chat, thank you so much for joining us on this.
Yes, guys, appreciate it.
So much to discuss, as I said, the controversy with the VAR. Listen, Kofi, get
What
over it.
controversy? I don't know what you.
I'm over it. Listen, I ain't got no beef anymore, man.
Get over it, bro. Get over it, yeah.
I can sleep well.
You know what I mean?
It's
only football.
Yeah, it's only football, man. It's only a game. Yeah, it's only football. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure. You know what I mean. You'll get your chance. You know, that's why you're known as Liverpool. You know what I mean? So,
Liverpool.
So you'll definitely get your chance. But listen, it's been a pleasure, people. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and share if you're new. And listen, next week we go again. Take care and God bless.